Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Funhaus Podcast. I'm Armando Torres, and today I'm joined by a whole group of very fun, very smart, wise people. We've got Charlotte McGrath.
Hi.
We've got Jacob Fullerton.
Hi, hello.
And we've got special guest James Willems.
Why am I special guest?
Well, because we needed a James for this one.
You're very special.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that segues right into our topic.
Yeah, our big topic.
No
Yeah,
problem,
so you do got to get out of here, huh? Folks, tune in for today, the first 12-minute Funhouse podcast.
Let's see if we can hang on until the point I have to leave.
Should I do plugs now? Is it time to plug? All right.
I got an album coming out. It's all country music.
So thanks for having me today. I've got an album of monologues.
Yep.
Now that we finished the intros, let's talk about Hellofresh.
Well,
Someone's on the roof.
There's somebody, definitely on the roof. They're trying to tell us to wrap it up too.
He came.
Well, this episode is we're recording a little bit early, and we're putting this out right before New Year's. And we wanted to do something special, and also didn't want to talk about news or anything because at that point it would be like a month too late.
Well, yeah, or you'd be magically predicting things.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
ooh, Jacob, give me your best prediction of the news that's going to drop on December 30th, 2021.
Oh, okay. Here's my big prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Morbius is going to get delayed again.
Whoa!
Mount off, mount down.
Yeah.
no way.
You don't think so?
Unless more controversy over Jared Leto's stupid IRL existence comes to light, they're going to dump that movie out. Yeah,
we'll
James,
see.
do you want to contest it with something? Do you have
not contest? I'll just add to the news pile. Scientific breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Just the other day,
just
came out. Someone figured out how to make cryptocurrency physical.
Wow.
So physical cryptocurrency.
But it's like actual iron tokens that you have to
Yeah,
carry.
I mean, basically there's an
On a loop?
exchange rate that they have to come up with a precious metal that they and then
Yeah,
they put and then
definitely.
you can carry it around with you. So that
Yeah,
way you don't
like
have to worry about
gold-
because
like a
so much
gold coin or
you hear the
something?
stories about people losing
No,
it
it's
on a
like
hard
a-
drive somewhere.
Yeah.
There's somewhere out
Chinese
there is a
coin.
billion Bitcoin. But nope, not anymore.
I
Now
have
it'll be a
that
physical
hard drive. Well, I wiped it to put Cloud Atlas fan fiction on.
Whoa.
Ooh.
It. Yeah.
yeah. I wiped mine to put Spy Fox on it.
Spy Fox?
Spy Fox.
What is
Is
that?
that one of those
Never
learning
played
games?
Spy Fox?
No.
No, you've asked every person you've asked has said no. I have not. played
Lindsay
Spy
knows
Fox.
what Spy Fox
I
Well, it's
is.
don't.
because we're
Sad.
not 14.
Well, okay.
You
fair enough.
and Lindsay also learned at the same rate. Like you were born in 2003 or whatever.
Yeah.
And Lindsay just started to learn at that same point.
They
So,
found her in that cave.
yeah, she was like Nell.
Well, Spy
She was
Fox
like,
is
"No."
is an old computer game that you could play where you had to go around and solve a mystery as a fox.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
My news story is that Joe Biden will sign into law the most sweeping legislation that this country has ever seen, but yeah, he'll accidentally just be pardoning another turkey.
Oh.
He's going to find some way where he's going to put my name here and he's going to initial in the wrong place and this is going to, I don't know.
There's no going back.
Yeah.
There's no going back.
He's trying to forgive $65 of human loan debt.
Well, after pardoning the turkey, will he say to the turkey, "Now hit the bricks, Jack"?
He'll say, "Don't let me catch you jiving around here, bird."
Oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joe. Oh,
And
he's
then-
old. He's old.
And then MSNBC will cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good old Joe Byron. Bing
Yeah.
bong. Anyway,
End of year. It's gonna be wild.
we wanted to do something special for this episode, and so we decided to have another bracket episode of the show that we
Classic
do.
Film House bracket.
Play the bracket.
Classic-
Play the
yeah,
bracket.
play the
theme.
bracket
Play the
theme
bracket
song?
theme song.
Rick, play the bracket theme song.
Rick. Now play the one with
Film
trap
House.
drums, please.
Weird. Trap means something different.
I think we're losing something.
Yeah.
In the
It's just
airwaves.
coming over the speaker.
Why is he
Yeah.
foaming at the mouth? Rick, are you okay?
Spit it out. Spit it out. It's one of those things from Harry Potter that they put in Ron.
Why don't we have a soundboard back there?
Yeah.
So that
These are
way,
not-
Rick can like, oh well, how was your weekend? And then toilet flush sound effects. We need to do that.
Well, first of all, we do have a soundboard. All of those sounds were pre-recorded.
Right, Rick didn't come in today.
Yeah,
No.
Rick's not actually back
Wow.
there. That's
I wanna-
Lindsay.
Wild.
Yeah, I want to shout out today's audio engineer, Michael Winslow.
Ooh, we got him. I don't know how. I know how we got him. We just put a Craigslist ad.
Yeah, we bought a cameo and he showed up
Yeah.
I
with
can do it in
all
person.
his gear. Did you know he had gear?
It's a microphone, and the wire goes somewhere, but we haven't been able to trace it to a source.
Harry Potter question: a bees or a nut? What if you put it in someone's butt? Would
Huh?
they diarrhea?
I don't know what
guess
you're
so.
talking about.
I don't know what I
They put it in someone's mouth to make them throw up.
somebody put a
It's like magical ipcac, the real thing that exists, but it's a
Okay.
nut.
Is
that
this
does
something
it.
that was in the books, or is it
This is in
something
the
that was like
books.
written in a blog later and then
Well,
made canon because
Dumbledore-
of idiocy?
put the first bees or nut in his urethra?
Mhm.
Uh huh. Yeah. Is that how he smuggled it out of Poland?
Yeah, well, him and Grindel,
Gribbleball.
Yeah, you nailed it. You got it.
they would trade it back and forth.
Yeah, all right.
Wizard docking, shuttling.
J.K. Rowling to me is just like Morrissey.
Who?
J.K. Rowling.
Who?
J.K.
The lead singer of the Smiths.
Yeah. To me, they're just the same. Where it's just like I grew up and everyone worshipped them, and their actual views on shit are just awful dog shit.
I do. I see sharks on your look, Roy. What's this bracket about?
Sorry, I've been trying to get to it since we started. This bracket that we have here is to determine who is the best James.
Hold on a minute.
Oh
The
my
Yeah.
God.
James.
There we go. Look at that. There's the
Oh,
bracket
there's
right
James
there.
Potter.
Yeah, I had to
Speak
put
of
him
the
on
devil.
there.
But he's got Lily's eyes.
I tried to give each bracket, each one, a sort of a theme that I can go over once we get to them.
It definitely seems like it's a loose interpretation of James because it's first name, last name, sometimes a nickname that's the character's never been ever referred to
Yeah.
other than.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
A few Jimmies. And these are the best James you could think of.
These are the best
All of them
James that
best
I
ones
could
you
think
could
of. yeah.
possibly
I
think
noticed
of.
that
Mhm.
one of the incredible James you sourced is actually behind our
Yeah,
camera.
what's beneath Kevin James?
Kevin James versus James Corden.
Okay.
It's
all
also right here if you need
right.
to
Okay,
look
well
at
now
it.
it just moved. Okay.
Yeah.
we got
What
it.
about we think about Kevin Sorbo?
James
Can we get him on
Christ.
this?
Absolutely not.
So we did have an apostle up
yeah,
there.
James Christ.
That's
Okay.
Ames
brother of
Christ.
Jesus.
All right.
So we decided to do this, and in order to have an impartial judge, we wanted to bring you on.
Jimbo Willie.
But I'm still voting.
You're also on
I'm
the
in
bracket.
the bracket. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Impartial.
fine.
Yeah.
I feel like I see myself pretty impartially.
Well, you're the only one of us that knows what it's like to be a James.
That's true.
And you're constantly dissociating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really your identity.
Yeah. I mean, I also have met all of these people and things
Mhm.
in person. So that should be useful.
Again, that's kind of part of the dissociation.
Yeah, that's actually,
issues.
it means that you have no biases because you've met all of them.
Yeah.
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 So let's start off with the first bracket. We've got Commissioner James Gordon from Batman versus James Bond. Two crime fighters, different styles. One of them fights crime and does sexual assault,
And the other is James
one,
Bond.
Yeah.
Aw,
So
man,
Sorry.
who? Yeah, well,
Does he
fuck
do
a
that
cop.
to Two-Face?
What?
I'm sorry. No, go on.
Yeah, it was good. So what are we thinking?
So are we going to just openly discuss these things, like what they're from, what they are, or is that what you just did?
That's what I just did.
So we're just
So we
going to
just
go
pick
through them.
now.
We just pick.
Yeah, we're
Well, how
gonna
about
pick the
this?
first one.
So
Okay,
this one,
I mean-
these are both characters that have been played by many actors.
Mhm.
So maybe we compare the actors that played them. Maybe that'll help us determine which was the best of these two first ones.
That's
Okay,
a good point.
that is
yeah,
good.
even
I
though
think
James Bond is way more.
if we compare the amount of actors who played Commissioner Gordon
Gary
versus the ones who played
J.K.
James
Simmons.
Bond, I think the ones who played Commissioner James Gordon are more alive.
Well,
That's true.
I feel like maybe the best way to do it as a James is to figure out the best of this grouping because there's numerous interpretations of these Jameses.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So we should pick the pinnacle of each and then compare them against each other, and that would make it easier than trying to look
So-
at the whole catalog.
So
Who's the
Sean
one-
Connery.
Who's the one from Her Majesty's Service, or the only one-off Bond? I think we need to go by weakest
the
link.
Australian. What's his name? George Lazenby.
George Lazenby.
George Lazenby is definitely the best James Bond. I
Okay.
agree.
Okay.
yeah.
And then the best James Gordon is the one from the Tim Burton one, the old one.
Oh.
He's
Oh,
like
yeah.
lost in every scene.
Okay.
But then
yeah.
also hung around through all the others.
Uh-huh.
Like that's the best thing about him is he stayed in them, and so like even when Mr. Freeze was there, he was like, "Oh, what's going on?"
My favorite Commissioner Gordon, by the way, is from the Harley Quinn TV show where they just make him an absolute
Oh, yeah.
sad sack of
Yeah.
a piece
He's
of
like
shit.
just
Oh my god, I love him so
smoking all the
much.
time.
I mean, I feel like James Bond has an opportunity here that was robbed of him in the Funhaus bracket series
Yeah.
when he was bested by friggin' Luke Skywalker.
Mhm.
This is Star Wars that beat
Star
James
Wars
Bond.
that beat James
Yeah.
Bond in the
What-
end.
what
No one wanted Star
nonsense
Wars to
bracket
win.
That was.
After 3.5 hours of recording, it felt like maybe because it was. I don't know.
That's a
Maybe
good point.
Maybe we give James a nod on this one.
That's a very good
And I know
point.
that's not a
Mhm.
good way to narrow it down. Just say give it to James.
No,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not at all. I vote for James Gordon.
I vote for
Okay,
James
well.
Bond because I'll be damned if I support a cop.
I like those big mustaches.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Isn't James Bond just a British cop?
You guys are
Yeah, but they don't have guns.
James Bond got a gun.
He's got a lot of guns.
Walther PP7.
got a license
fair.
to kill,
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does have
and
a
license
license
to
to
kill.
kill.
and he's
Mhm.
drunk all the time.
Yeah,
Mostly drunk.
I
Sometimes
vote.
has
For,
a jetpack.
you know what?
So
I'm
is-
changing my vote.
so is-
Mistrial.
We got to pick.
All right.
Yeah,
It's number
I've made
one.
my call.
Well, again, I'm
what's your
comparing
call?
the two pinnacles. So
Okay.
for that, I'm going to go George Lazenby every time. Anytime you
Bond.
put George
Bond here.
Lazenby against something else, I'm going to pick George Lazenby.
I think that's
James Gordon. 'Cause
James
I'm excited
Gordon.
for his next
James
portrayal.
Bond.
James Bond. I'm going James Bond.
Wait,
All right.
who is it in the Batman?
What? In the Batman?
Oh,
new
it's
one.
Oh, it's
I
the
don't-
guy from
from
it's
Westworld.
From Westworld,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't remember his
Oh,
name.
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright. Yeah, it's Jeffrey Wright.
He'll be good.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's Colin Farrell. He's just playing all the parts.
I got you. He's
Yeah.
unrecognizable.
Oh,
Every time.
I like it. He's either, I got him. Oh, I didn't get him.
So we've got the next bracket, and this one is my personal favorite.
We just have to
on
remember
here.
what's where.
I'm writing it down.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. So we've got James Dean,
The porn
heartthrob.
star.
Okay.
Yeah, can we
Yeah.
specify?
Oh, is that an A?
We've got James Dean, and then versus Jimmy Dean, the sausage company.
Yeah.
Oh,
As
I
a
see.
porn
whole.
star?
Yeah.
Also,
Come on.
here's something I
Good at
found out.
sausage.
Jimmy Dean is named after Jimmy Dean, the guy who started the sausage company.
Yeah.
And James Dean, the actor, is actually
Named after
related
the sausage.
to the
Oh.
guy who started the sausage company. So this is a little bit of
It's
a family feud.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got James Dean versus Jimmy Dean. James Dean, very handsome man, died way too soon, or so they say.
Mediocre actor.
Yeah.
I think he died at exactly the right
That's what
time.
Like a
that's what
wizard.
I'm trying to say. Yeah. Jimmy Dean,
As was
sausage,
foretold.
good for breakfast. James Dean, not good for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's
Um,
both ground meat.
Both of them have a sausage.
Yeah.
Have you been to the last place James Dean stopped out near Bakersfield?
Is that the term? Stopped?
Yeah.
This is where James Dean stopped.
No. It's before he crashed.
Oh, where he
it's
pulled
it's,
over?
It's a gas station that sells candied nuts.
Okay.
And like
Okay.
it's this big structure, like huge, like warehouse-looking structure that is seemingly closed completely, and then a big James Dean head just outside. That's like this
Oh.
is his last stop.
Like a physical James Dean head. I thought you meant like a big
On a
James Dean
pike?
head, like a fan. Like, I'm just a
Oh.
real big
Oh,
James,
James
Dean,
Dean
head.
head, yeah.
Always frequenting the
Ask
gas
me
station.
anything about him. Ask me any movies he's ever been in. I know them all.
Rebel Without a Cause
Uh-huh.
is the one I know.
Giant.
Is that a movie?
Yeah. And
Okay.
then the other one.
Oh my God. There's that big head.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
This is
Dean's
again.
last stop.
I always think it's interesting anytime you're
God.
going by the road or a highway or whatever, and there's a memorial.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's where a car crash happened. That's not where I want to be fucking remembered.
No,
I
The
don't think he's-
fireball.
I don't think
the
he
place
asked
where
for
it,
that.
I burnt. No, I'm saying, but why do people do that?
Well-
like, oh, I'm gonna put a little thing down here because, like, no, I don't put pictures of me and bring flowers to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's like the Jesus.
Go to
thing.
Chuck E. Cheese where I remember having fun,
Yeah.
not screaming in pain.
Yeah, I
Go
saw
to the Chuck E. Cheese that I plowed through the front window
Yeah,
of in
yeah.
my Buick Century.
driving up to Oakland last month. I remember seeing one of those flower memorials on the side of
Yeah.
the road, and behind it was like the biggest Recall Newsom sign I'd ever seen.
Oh,
nice.
As a background.
I have
Died doing love.
a
Yeah.
friend who got in an argument with his girlfriend and was trying to make up for it, and he is 100% true, not a bit. Went to a memorial for a girl who had gotten hit on a bicycle and stole the flowers that somebody had left for her there, and then brought it to his girlfriend as if to say like, I'm sorry.
It's,
The thing is, though, is that they lived together and lived in the same neighborhood as that memorial, and she recognized the flowers immediately.
that's a Curb Your Enthusiasm plot.
I was
line.
gonna say,
it really?
your friend
Very
Larry
much so.
David.
I watched a
Yeah,
man-
standout episode.
I watched a man do that.
That's where he got the idea, probably.
Larry David,
Yeah.
real guy.
God, no, I
Those
don't know.
things
Larry.
happen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I don't
This
know
one,
what this
James
one. Yeah.
I'm
versus
ready.
Jimmy
I'm
Dean?
ready to
You
go.
ready?
I'm ready to vote for Jimmy Dean.
Yeah, I'm ready to vote for Jimmy Dean because I'm hungry.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say the exact same thing. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I want Jimmy Dean.
Oh, you guys are tearing me apart. I'm going to vote for James Dean.
Well, it doesn't matter. The vote goes to Jimmy Dean.
Jimmy, I just got a YouTube ad for some
I
Jimmy Dean.
feel like my vote
sausage
should
last
count
night.
for 2, right? I'm
Yeah.
a James.
Even if they do, it's 3 against 2.
yeah, but for the record keeping.
record.
Okay,
I think,
fine.
yeah,
sure,
that's
sure.
valid.
And
Sure.
also to break the ties, because we always do this.
Well, we have
always,
a tiebreaker, Rick.
Stenographer, note
tiebreaker.
that.
Rick doesn't know what he's talking about. He's not a James.
Rick,
he's
do
a
you-
Rick. That's the
do you-
opposite
Do you
of a
know
James.
any? Well.
Hey, look, Rick
Well,
James.
See?
He's
we got
almost
Rick
there.
James on the goddamn list. All right, moving down, we've got James Christ, the brother of Jesus, versus Captain James Kirk.
Isn't James
2
Christ,
fictional characters.
brother
Yeah.
of Jesus, a bit of yours?
Huh?
Didn't you make that up?
No.
Oh.
James Christ is the actual brother of Jesus.
Yeah, but he was like, what, Joseph's other son or
Yeah.
something like that, and then didn't participate.
Yeah.
Probably told a lot of people, yeah, I have this brother, but I don't know him that well.
Well,
runs
he
a
was
cult.
like, he was like, what's his name? It's Terrence from Iron Man. Rhodey?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Uh,
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard,
Yeah.
yeah, but for the Bible and to like the MCU.
I don't think Terrence
Oh.
Howard is right. Wait,
What?
is it Terrence Howard?
Yeah.
Okay,
an
it is Terrence
actor?
Howard.
1 plus
yeah.
1 is 1.
Yeah, Terrence
Yeah.
Howard
Yeah,
math
from Hustle and Flow.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Empire.
Well,
So you're saying that Jesus is Don Cheadle and Terrence Howard is
No, Jesus is Tony Stark.
okay.
And then like another pal that comes in.
Okay,
like,
I was thinking
like
about the
Paul
actors.
or Peter comes in and is Don Cheadle.
Okay,
Mm.
I see
So
what you
who's
mean.
Terrence Howard?
he's an actor.
He's James. He's James Christ. He got out early. He
Yeah.
didn't really do
I don't
anything.
understand
Yeah.
this analogy at
He
all.
was on
I
Red
don't-
Tails.
He was on Red Tails, the first, what was it, first black action movie?
Yeah, first black action movie, according to George
Yeah,
Lucas.
George,
Okay. All right. Well,
I think that should clear
Captain
everything up.
James Kirk is, I would
Hold on,
say,
player. Hold on. I'm gonna make this a triple threat match.
Hell yeah. I told Rick that at any point he could throw in a third James
What?
into any battle and make it a 3-way match.
The
I feel like
three-way
we're,
match is now between James Christ versus James Kirk versus the Road Dog Jesse.
Oh,
James.
Oh,
that guy really
shit.
sucks. This doesn't change anything for me. Great suggestion, though. Shout out to the New Age Outlaws. Billy Gunn, by the way, is like 50 years old and is in better shape than any of us could ever imagine.
Completely
Steroids, a hell of a
jacked.
drug.
Completely jacked.
Great toss out there. Well, I'm glad our ass called somebody to
Yeah.
get in there with.
I'm
him.
voting Jesse James, but just because I'm hoping it's the porn star.
It's not.
Hmm?
And is that a porn star?
Yeah.
I thought that was Sandra Bullock's husband.
Yeah,
And
you're
then-
talking about Jesse James, the motorcycle builder, right?
I mean, listen. There's almost certainly a porn star out
named
there
Jesse
named Jesse
James.
James, but
Yeah.
I only knew of the cowboy as portrayed by Brad Pitt, and then the motorcycle guy that married Sandra Bullock. And I was
Jesse
like,
J is the musical artist.
Okay.
And they're not.
James
They don't qualify.
James
No, she
Kirk
doesn't
is
qualify.
maybe one of the bravest individuals on this list.
Sure.
And yeah, not just anyone can head up the Enterprise.
And
We tried that.
Are we thinking like OG James Kirk, Captain Kirk, the William Shatner? Or are we
Well,
thinking the new one?
I think
the
if we're
J.J.
gonna do what
Abrams,
we
from the
did
James Abrams
with the Bond, where we pick the best version of Kirk,
then it's the new one.
then it's got to be Chris Pine.
It's Chris Pine at his lips most filled.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
So plump. They're so plump.
I like him as James Tiberius Kirk.
I do as well.
Yeah, I like those movies.
I say Kirk.
I
I'm
even
on
like
the
Into
Kirk
Darkness.
train.
You're
Yeah,
on Kirk?
I'm Kirk Train as well.
I
Jesse
am
James.
hanging off the
Choo-choo.
Kirk train.
All right, James Kirk wins.
I'm just gonna look. I'm not gonna eat before the end of this podcast, and since I voted for Jimmy Dean because I'm hungry, I feel like Jimmy Dean's gonna go all the way. Because Jacob and I have formed a hungry coalition.
What do you think Road Dogg Jesse James's favorite move to perform in the ring was?
The
Are we talking
dirty
about the
dog.
cowboy?
Close.
What is it?
He would punch you twice, then dance, then punch you a third time.
That's pretty
That
tight.
sounds like a Smash Bros move.
Kind of, yeah.
Like, pew, pew, then you.
That's
taunt
what I love
me.
about wrestling is because, like, you know, you ever play like Street Fighter and you fill up your meter and you do an attack and it's like, where are they just standing there taking it? That's
Yeah.
what wrestling is too.
Yeah.
He's just doing a critical art.
I've seen a bunch of clips from wrestling that I just can't get over. Like, oh fuck, what's his name? It's the guy. He's a newer guy. The whole plot was that like he got pulled in from the audience and won, and now he's a wrestler. It's like Santino or some shit. But they did a bit where he put a sock on his hand like it was a snake, and they played the flute and convinced the snake to
Santino
go.
Marella.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A newer guy.
Tip
Yeah.
of my tongue.
Didn't he die like 15 years ago?
Is he dead?
No, I
he's
don't-
not dead.
He's not dead, but I haven't seen him
A newer
anywhere.
guy, meaning that like when I was about to stop watching wrestling, that's when he started.
Considering the 80-year legacy of wrestling, he is
Yeah.
newer. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
11-year tenure.
Well, but where?
Yeah.
Because that's just basically the tenure when it comes to a professional wrestler is just when they decided to start and then when their body gave out.
He is the founder of Canadian martial arts. It doesn't go into any more details. So I guess any
no more.
Canadian martial
Say no more.
artist owes their their sports hood
Yeah,
to,
what a
to
legacy.
Santino.
To
That's the
Santino
fucking
Marella.
sock.
Yeah, no, I see it. It looks very, very cool.
But even that's an homage.
Did
That's the beauty of wrestling. It's art.
you see that? Did you see that clip of that wrestler that just got fucking taken down by a fan?
Oh yeah, Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Did he get taken down? Seth Rollins kicked him in the head like 3 times.
Maybe
my
I'm
God.
thinking of a different.
I mean, it was
clip.
recently. Some fan ran out and then tackled him,
Yeah.
and then he held him like this, smashed him on the head a bunch as they started pulling him apart.
Got
He
up,
kicked him 3 more times in the
danced,
head,
and then kicked him
and then he
again.
went, "What the fuck is your problem?" and then walked off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's a loss for me.
Yeah.
Can't help but notice none of these people are named James.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next one. Bottom of the bracket for this one, we have the most annoying bracket on this entire competition. We have Kevin James versus James Corden.
I wouldn't put Kevin James in nearly the same category. as James
Really?
Corden.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a string of maybe tacky movies or whatever.
But
I
then
would-
we got the
He's the
genius that is
king,
Paul
but-
Blart.
yeah.
But something about being a just completely unpalatable late night host is always going to be worse for me than being in slapstick movies.
And as far as I have heard from everybody that works close to him, a complete piece of garbage.
James Corden.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
I-
not
a red-
don't say that.
Ah, fuck you,
Gavin
James
and
Corden.
Stacey was okay.
I played that movie where I was the male Susan Boyle.
You want me to drive you around? We sing a song together.
Oh, stop here at the crosswalk. We're doing The Wizard of Oz, love.
So
I'm
I
a
would
big mouse.
I find James Corden more insufferable than Kevin James, who also, you know, has made those fun internet shorts, right?
I've seen both live.
Oh.
Wait, you saw Kevin James live?
Yes, I did.
The
What did
Here
they
Comes
do?
the Boom live tour.
Did they
My
do
college
Grown Ups on Ice?
My college marching band played at a premiere for Here Comes the Boom in Philly.
Oh my God.
It was right. It
Yeah.
was Here Comes the
It was
Boom.
Here Comes the Boom.
Jesus.
And yeah, because they needed like a drum line, and so they wanted to do this whole big thing. Because I think the movie takes place in Philadelphia,
Mhm.
so we went to a theater downtown, a theater I later worked at.
Wow.
But that's irrelevant. But yeah, we Kevin James came out, track pants, comfortable,
Nice.
and he said, "Here comes the boom. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. it was like Buzz Lightyear let himself go. and James Corden, I saw The Man Show. One of the most incredible afternoons of my young life.
Wait, you saw which show?
How much of that
The
had to
Late
do with the
Late
show?
The Late Late Show.
Yeah, I knew somebody that like
You must have been
interned
real
at CBS.
tired.
Yeah.
I stayed up so late, all the way past 3 p.m.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
And so now I know where the crosswalk is, where he tortures people who are just trying to go to
Oh,
the Grove
yeah.
to
Yeah.
return jeans.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man! It doesn't fit. I thought I was a 32, and now I have to watch Camilla Cabello.
It sounds like you're speaking a different language. I just think out of the two of these,
Sure.
at the end of 2021, rolling into 2022, one is much more likely to initiate a flash mob than the other.
Plus, I'm hungry, so I'm probably gonna go with Kevin James.
Yeah.
So I'm going Kevin James for sure.
All right.
At Thanksgiving,
I'm voting for James Corden because
Buster Jones.
what?
Because of Buster Jones.
Yes, exactly. Because I think James Corden is a porn star name. No, I
Probably.
I
Shooting court.
when I was
Bored on you.
Cordon.
God,
Chicken
gross.
cordon.
well, they both do car rides for their non-intended purposes, right? Isn't he the one that does like car
Karaoke,
karaoke?
sure.
and
I
some
Kevin
shit?
James doesn't do that. That's James Corden.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
okay.
How
well,
dare
you
you mix
should
those
have
two up?
specified.
I did.
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
Well, obviously the votes go in favor of.
I'm going for James Corden because when I made this bracket, I was trying to think of who I was most annoyed by.
Okay.
And so out of the two, I think James Corden is the most annoying. Also, I just want to watch Captain Kirk beat the fuck out of James Corden.
Mhm.
I think you would
Okay.
more try to understand this specimen.
Yeah.
I don't think
Reason
so.
with
It wouldn't
I
be
think
a-
Spock would try to understand the specimen.
Yeah.
Well, Starfleet's never mind.
Yeah. Prime directive. Listen, at Thanksgiving, my uncles were watching a movie and having the time of their
Oh,
lives
Lord, too.
and laughing. It was actually grown
It's
ups too.
Grown-Ups too.
Ah,
Yeah, we just talked
Grown-Ups
about
too.
that a
They
couple
laughed
weeks
at
ago.
every single fart and poop joke, and it made me happy to see my uncles
My,
happy. So I'm giving it to Kevin James.
My girlfriend went to a comedy show and there was like a roll of like images up on the screen before the comedian came up, and it was just different like acts and different people, and one was a picture of Adam Sandler, and someone in front of her behind her went, "That's Adam Sandler from Grown Ups."
I know which
Not
comedy
wrong.
club she went to.
Not wrong.
All right, so it sounds like we're giving
Kevin
it to
James takes it.
Kevin James.
Here comes the boom! Here comes the boom!
Ready or not.
Here comes the boom. Henry Winkler's in that movie.
Oh,
Pretty sure.
by association. I am more in favor of
Good for
Kevin
Henry.
James now. Yeah.
So now we're moving on to the other side of the bracket. We have Jim Halpert versus
Stretch, real stretch.
Jack
versus
Ryan.
Skinny James, aka Slim Jim.
The
Skinny
food.
James.
You're referring to the food.
beef
Yeah.
stick?
You
Yeah.
didn't we have the food on there over there. Jimmy
But that's
D.
a guy.
Yeah.
But
That's a guy that made food.
No, when I wrote the bracket, I was thinking of the food. So that's the food too.
Yeah, but we would have made
I
a
think there's only
stink
one
if
You
way
there
don't think
this
that
wasn't a
can
guy.
go.
Slim Jim is named after a man named
No.
Jim
I don't think so.
who was
Yeah.
slim?
I bet Jim probably is an acronym for like like some sort of dehydrated meat chemical.
Juice induced meat.
Yeah, juice induced meat. Yeah, yeah.
Juice.
Yeah, juice induced.
Well, first of all, I found out that it's invented by a man named Adolf Levis.
Oh.
So I am sorry.
Yeah. We'll save that
Yeah,
for the
juice induced.
Yes, the Slim Jim has kept many a German energized when they couldn't get good food.
We shall run Belgium down with the perfect protein delivery method. You don't chew it, you just open your mouth and push it down.
She
I
might
don't
remember
know.
these from when we were down in the trenches all those years.
This is the occult they were messing
Yeah.
with.
I don't know if this makes you feel any better, but he actually died several years ago in Argentina.
Beef
Okay.
poisoning.
Yeah. Armando, you gotta save it for when you do the Adolf bracket.
You know how they have
everyone's
those,
favorite Adolf.
the Adolf. Adolf Sachs.
How many times am I going to appear on that bracket? At least once.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that your full name is James Adolf Willems.
Is this a road we want to go down?
Absolutely. So we've got Jim Halpert versus Slim Jims.
Is there a? Do they call him James at any point in the office?
They do.
It's maybe Dwight.
They call him
Ooh,
James at least
Very
once, I
bitingly.
know.
Yeah.
Is
Did
he
you
in
watch
trouble?
Yeah.
James Adolf Halpert.
Sounds like something Idris Elba's character would say.
Yeah.
James.
One of my favorite things about Idris Elba's character in that show is that there are 2 scenes where they forgot to cover up the tattoos that he has on his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So they just have this very straightforward, very business-oriented character who then just has like these
like a
dumbass
spider.
Yeah.
Well, I am hungry, so
I like James Spader.
James
Robert
Spader,
California.
Are you trying
everyone's
to-
favorite manager of the office.
Are you gonna
Yeah,
throw in
the guy who they liked so much they kept him on, and his biggest character trait was like, I guess, weird guy.
Yeah.
That was kind of like as deep as they got with
Are
that.
you throwing in a third?
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
We've got James Spader, Slim Jim, and Jim Halpert.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do right now.
Uh,
I'm gonna vote for James Spader.
Yeah,
Wow.
me too. Stargate? Are you kidding me?
Every time Spader.
James
Abaddon.
Spader?
Yeah,
The
James Spader.
secretary.
All right.
Blacklist's own.
Rick?
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Wow.
Did you see the supposed finale for the Blacklist they made as COVID started, where they needed to finish it out and they had 1 episode, so they did this weird half rotoscoped, half animated thing that like you're watching, and there's like video game type graphics. It's so strange, and they really went for it. And I think they eventually were like, we got to make another season.
The Blacklist is one of those shows that I remember it beginning, and I remember watching some or all of the first episode, and then thinking, well, that's all the mental energy I'll devote to that. And then like 20 years later, they're like, Blacklist enters season 24.
Yeah, see,
or
I don't
whatever.
remember it beginning. I just remember
What?
it existing.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
James Spader's Blacklist.
I thought the Blacklist was so I listened to a podcast called The Blacklist where they read
Yeah, where they
like,
read scripts.
scripts, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not that.
I got an 8 on the
Yeah.
Blacklist.
I figured that
Only it was
out.
the James Spader one. Ah.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, Spader moving on.
Thriller series is,
Spader wins.
for
Who you voted
decades.
just for
I was voting for Adolf, a man who had his own blacklist.
Oh yeah.
His character's name is Raymond Red Reddington.
What the heck?
You kidding me?
So moving on to this one, we have my 2 favorite people with the last name James. We've got Rick James versus LeBron James. I know we did it over there with Kevin James, but I don't like Kevin James.
Okay.
So we've got LeBron versus Rick James.
Okay.
Hmm.
I
You're just
mean,
showing each other's pictures.
I think
of
I
them.
think LeBron James is a supreme talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And seems like he's got a pretty good head. Are you just showing us
Yeah.
pictures of James?
No,
Spader.
they're not
Yeah.
us. They're she's
Pretty
showing
in pink,
Jacob.
James Spader.
Showing me pictures of James. Charlotte knows that
Um,
I'll laugh at pictures.
Oh, that's a good one. All right.
Can we just real quick cut to the clip from the secretary where he's spanking Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Oh my God. Do we have that capability?
This is my favorite James Spader.
I'm being told no.
Oh God.
That's the smack
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on.
Ow.
Let's keep going.
We're trying.
We did, yeah.
LeBron James.
You're going LeBron James?
no, I just
Rick
said the
James
names.
got some great tunes.
Mhm.
Died at the Oakwood.
Died at the Oakwood.
Went to the Viper room before he died.
That's
and he
right,
died,
yeah.
My favorite Rick James song is
R.I.P.
"You Can't
River
Touch
Phoenix.
This."
Wait, what'd you say?
So my favorite Rick James song is "You Can't Touch This."
Okay.
My favorite Rick James song is "The Mother We Share."
I like Super Freak.
Okay, all right, never heard of him.
That was the Church's song. I was just doing a goof.
Yeah.
I was doing a goof.
I
as well.
know.
We all did goofs,
I
except for
didn't.
you,
Yeah.
which says Super Freak.
Yeah, which threw everyone off.
I didn't
Yeah,
know. Yeah, I completely forgot what I was
It's a
thinking
comedic
about.
rule of 3s, where the middle one is like honest.
It's a disorienting sandwich.
Yeah.
Let's slide under the bar. Rule of 2, because I couldn't think of anything.
Okay,
Except-
fair enough.
We did 3.
Except Super Freak. Yeah.
I think we have to look at we've looked at so much like film and television, right? So how do we go into this without talking about Trainwreck? How do we go into this without talking about Space Jam: New Legacy?
Thank you.
Right?
Oh,
How
he
do we
was
go
in
We
it,
have to look at
right?
the best that someone has done.
Also, of
Rick
the
James
of
was
the
in
two
the
of them,
crowd.
only one could have their head turned upside down and still be ahead.
Yeah.
Is it LeBron?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's how Rick James died.
Oh yeah, he tried and failed. So I think that's if we're just adding positives into the
Okay.
pile,
Yeah.
I think I would go LeBron James.
I think they
personally.
both have such a distinct cultural impact, but what I think is funny is that one of them, their cultural impact is more somebody else impersonating them.
And didn't Rick James keep women prisoners in his home?
I don't doubt
that's
it.
What hit,
Don't blame
what
it on
hit
the
musician
80s.
has
Don't
it.
blame it on the 80s.
I'm not blaming it on the
I'm
80s.
saying I'm looking at them. I'm
Okay.
looking at the immediate response.
I'm saying-
It was the 80s.
I'm saying
It was
that
a different time.
you
Yeah.
could tell me, you could say any wild shit and go, didn't Rick James work with Adolf to make Slim Jims? And I'd be like,
Didn't
probably.
He like kidnapped a girl or
Yeah.
something, didn't he?
Did
Something
Slim
like that.
Jims win?
Huh?
I don't remember who won. Oh, James Spader. That's
Yeah.
James
Yeah.
Spader won.
I forgot the dark.
And May
horse I
honestly
introduced.
go all the way.
He just
Yeah. But for this bracket, I'm gonna say LeBron because he's a good father in Space
Yeah.
Jam.
In Space Jam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an awful father in real
In
life.
real life,
He,
yeah,
he,
just a
he
dog shit
killed
dad.
Terrence Howard to get his son back.
He makes Bronny sleep on the court. He makes them do all those TikTok dances, and they don't
Yeah,
even
wait.
like tacos, let alone on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wasn't the beginning part of that movie that he was just a bad dad who
Yeah,
wouldn't
but he
let-
learned his
wasn't that
lesson.
bad.
He
He
learned
wasn't
his
that
lesson
bad.
in the serververse.
He was like, he basically went to his kid and he's like, you'd be an idiot not to start learning basketball right now. He's like, it's free money.
Yeah.
And his kid's like, I want to go to
I want to make
I wanna
video
go to
games.
E3. And he's
Yeah.
like,
Would you feel the same way if your kid wanted to start playing basketball
yeah,
instead
absolutely.
of doing video game
It's-
content?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
I'd say you better do it because everyone knows that being a basketball player is guaranteed money.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone becomes a basketball player
Yeah.
that wants
They
to.
all make it.
They all
It's
make
true.
it.
The
They all make
NBA has
it.
a very
Anyway,
low
Didn't
threshold.
LeBron
you
James
play
did.
basketball?
What?
Didn't you play basketball?
No.
Oh.
Where are you getting that?
The LA Live, home to Staples Center and E3.
With
Wait,
the
what?
what?
You're going to have to
Crowds.
refer to it by
As-
its actual name.
Oh, the Crypto.com Stadium.
you very
Yeah.
Sorry.
We didn't know what you were
Yeah.
talking about.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, don't make me think about
I'm just gonna
Staples
give
right
it to
now.
LeBron because of that kid that says LeBron James.
LeBron
It doesn't get any better
James.
than that. It like it ticks. It's been playing in my head on a loop like a broken tape. Do tapes do that? I haven't
No.
worked. With
it's
tape
broken,
in a
it
long
probably
time.
stops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like all the insides
Yeah.
are all messed up.
broken
In
record.
fact, the
maybe.
break would break the loop.
Yeah, so there's a cassette that broke in my street that people have been driving over and dragging every which way, so it's been unraveled.
And every time it gets run over, it sounds like LeBron James.
Yeah. The guy from American Beauties filming.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So moving on, we've got this part of the bracket, which is fictional fathers. So sorry I couldn't put my own in there because he's not around.
Yeah.
All
We
right.
can make those jokes.
What's
You can't
James
make
McLeod from?
Fox's dad.
James Torres.
those. No, it's Fox's dad.
Oh, okay. I
Oh,
thought-
Fox's dad.
you mean Jaime Torres?
oh, it's Star Fox's. I thought
Yeah.
you were talking
Jaime
about James
Potter?
McLeod from F-Zero, who's based on Fox's dad.
No.
Who's
James,
dad?
So we have got James Potter versus
Star
James
Fox.
McLeod, who is
Oh.
Star Fox's dad.
Yeah.
I like that he's like, it's a boy. What do you call him? Fox? yeah?
Yeah.
All right, what are the rest of them called? Wolf.
Falco, right? That's
And
one.
I'm James.
Yeah, Falco was just because they had a heart attack before they finished
Yeah.
writing the
Yeah.
end.
What about Sergeant Pepper? Who named him?
The Beatles, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
So we were sitting around, and I thought, why not name him Sergeant Pepper?
Can we finish this song?
Yeah, if you play Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds backwards, you hear an in-depth discussion about.
I get it, George. You feel undermined, but we got to finish the song.
Paul is dead.
I'm sitting right here, George.
No, Paul is dead. Anyway, I haven't
So,
played a
all
Star
right. So,
Fox.
James Potter, who sucks,
Yeah.
honestly.
Why don't we swap him out with James Vanderbeek
You want to throw in James
Oh.
Vanderbeek?
Not a
Instead
dad.
of James
and he doesn't-
Potter?
But,
It
I mean,
doesn't-
James Potter sucks.
Think
and will
about
not win this.
what general manager would be happy about that.
Eh? Okay, we'll throw in James Vanderbeek as a third, but I'm using it as Jacobs. So you just use Jacobs' wild card.
Hold on a
choice.
minute.
I don't know. I don't want to do that.
No, it's too late,
Charlotte
Jacob. She
respects
took
me
it
too
from
much.
you.
There's just no way James Potter
I'm
was
not
going to
gonna
win
jump
this.
this, yeah.
James Potter is a trash character.
Yeah.
We find out
Sucks.
that
He's a bully.
He's a bully. He's a terrible
Didn't he
wizard.
keep women in his
I
basement?
think he did. And it was the 80s, but no excuse.
No, don't you blame
There
it
was
on
no
the
excuse.
80s.
I said it was no excuse.
It was the wizard 80s.
So, yeah.
Everything was
You
different.
can't keep saying that. It doesn't make any sense, George. You're
remember-
saying it now, but it's the flipping 60s,
I
George.
remember I was wishing my poop away.
George, you're predicting the 80s now and the 60s here. You can't
I'm
do
gonna
it.
have a magic heart
time.
attack.
It will be a different time, is what you mean to say.
Paul was dead.
No, I'm sitting right here. You keep saying it, John, George. You keep saying, Ringo, now you're going to tell me that I'm dead too?
JK, you can't just put women in your basement.
It was a different woman.
She was 80.
Those house elves, they like being slaves, JK.
I gotta get a photo of this.
Originally we were called the James Beetle and changed it.
Yeah.
Are you throwing in the James Beatles?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got James Potter, who I don't know much about Harry Potter. No, I read the books, and by read the books, I mean I read the first two.
Okay.
And then...
So technically books.
yeah.
You read more than I did.
And then as far as the movies go, I watched the first two movies and then part 2 of the last movie.
All right. So you're pretty well
Part
informed.
2 of the last movie, which is in and of itself a part 2.
Yeah.
So you watched
Yeah.
part 4.
No,
Really?
no,
No,
no. I
Deathly
mean,
Hallows
I
Saga.
watched...
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well,
watched-
let's say
again,
what I mean.
Deathly Hallows Part 1. Maybe the worst of the bunch.
Great tattoo.
Worst of the bunch.
Great tattoo.
Oh, just a
Triangle,
triangle? Yeah.
circle, line.
Triangle,
Come
circle,
on,
line.
baby. Let's get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
For a refresher.
I want to get that and put it next to my Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
Whoa.
For a refresher, Armando,
Mhm.
he, of course, he dies, and Harry Potter's very
Yes.
tragic, and they spend 6 books talking about how awful he is.
Yeah, he's a dickhead,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no, for a while
Well,
they
he's
talk about
revered.
how great he was.
If we get Harry's perspective, which is that he's revered. Oh, this guy is a great guy.
He was the
died
number
trying
one
to save my life.
seeker.
Everyone
He was a
talks so
jock.
highly of him. But then
Gryffindor.
anytime anyone who knew him mentions him, like, oh no, he was a dick.
He was a
And
fucking
he
dick.
sucked.
It's like, well, like popular
Lily was an
jock,
idiot.
cool popular jock, but he gets in a car crash. They set up a memorial on the
Yeah.
side of the road.
I
Yeah.
steal
It's
the
like,
flowers.
God, I miss James Potter.
I was in a car crash not too long ago. I can't remember
George, come back to us.
James
Oh,
McLeod.
I remember when I was when I was in high school, there was a kid that very unfortunately was run over by a train, and they did the same thing where they had a memorial.
Did you
where-
grow up in fried green tomatoes world?
He grew up not on the wrong side of the tracks so much as on the tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the
Oh.
tracks.
I knew
yeah.
a few people run over by trains.
Fried
Yeah.
green tomatoes.
This guy, this whole story, by the way, is just like he was on salvia and was like walking on the tracks. I don't know. Sorry,
Mhm.
I don't know what happened, but he got.
Well, a train probably came down.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's where the train lives.
You have to assume.
He went to Train House.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound like a Beatles lyric.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the train lives in the train house. That's where Mr. Train lives.
Yeah.
All is dead. So yeah, he got hit, and the only thing I can remember is that they had a memorial for him, and it turned into the dating event of the season, where people were asking people out to go to Mitch's memorial.
Oh, that's sweet.
Grief is a
That's how-
powerful
yeah.
aphrodisiac.
Mitch would have wanted to be
Yeah.
remembered.
Yeah,
Probably not. Probably
No, probably
wouldn't have wanted to be
absolutely
remembered
not.
at all.
That's why
No.
funerals are a hotbed for STD
Yeah.
Oh, you
transmission.
betcha.
so I don't know. I just
So we're voting for Mitch.
yeah. Can we throw Mitch in there?
Which bracket are we even on? What
We're
about
on James
Vanderbeek?
Potter versus James.
Well, no
McLeod.
one's voting for James Potter.
I'm voting for James McLeod because
So
I
then-
love Starfire.
James
Yeah.
McLeod, but didn't James McLeod? He just got kidnapped by the bad guy.
Yeah,
He
Andros
also-
grabs him. You don't
Yeah.
get him unless you do like, the
Andros.
true ending.
Oh, and then and he comes back and he's the ghost of him guides you out of the tunnels
Yeah.
at the end of Star Fox
Is he
64.
also-
Only if you
Good
do like the
dad.
real ending. Yeah,
Good
he's
dad.
also.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
but he
okay.
wears
I
shades.
didn't know.
He's a great dad, and he's cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go James McLeod as well. He's
James
pretty
McLeod.
cool.
I'll go James McLeod.
Yeah,
What a
vote-
waste of the James
Perfect.
Vanderbeek.
Yeah, for real.
And finally, we have our tiny little bracket down here. But most important one, we have James from Team Rocket versus our very own James Willems.
Mm,
Oh my
two
God.
Jameses, both led around by their better female.
Yeah,
One, a powerful representation for closeted gay people.
and the other
the
one,
other is
James
Team
from
Rocket.
Team Rocket. Yeah.
The joke that doesn't get old.
Nope.
I mean, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
And the other one is James Willems. Just completely fucked the joke. My thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, James from Team Rocket is better dressed normally.
Only has one outfit though.
Yeah,
well,
but-
until they change to the black
black and
variant.
red.
But he's not
Yeah.
constantly wearing John Smith and Funhouse merch. So
Oh, this James promotes his friends as opposed to his own personal agenda. Gotcha.
Well, Team Rocket are his friends, I think.
They're pokey Nazis.
You know
right?
what? I take
Yeah,
it back.
sorta.
I take back my own
They're
shit.
stormtroopers.
They invent the
because-
Slim Jim.
Mhm.
Because while you're wearing all Funhouse merch supporting your brand, that's what he does. Team Rocket. He's also
This
wearing
isn't
his work.
Funhouse merch.
I
John's an
know.
independent creator.
Well, no.
John is as much a member of this channel as anyone.
Yeah.
But this shirt
Well, John,
don't get a dime.
John Smith is an industry plant.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to talk
let's
about it.
go.
No one wants to talk about it, but John Smith actually, he's completely fabricated. That's not even
That's
his
not
real
what an
name.
industry planet. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a persona.
It's
Yeah.
a persona.
I
that
thought
he
you were going to
puts
say
on.
like a Hatsune Miku sort of thing, where he's
I
a
mean-
vocoder.
To be fair, when Elise, myself, and Jacob are all standing together, they do think, hey, there's James, Jesse, and Meowth.
Yeah.
Yeah, say that's right.
Oh, that's right, Jacob.
Hey, it's me. Doesn't he sound like this?
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
I'm
he
a
does.
Pokemon. I
Yeah.
like to talk.
So
I
Something
grew up in
pretty-
Joycey.
Yeah.
Pretty notable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Nobody
Hoboken.
seems to care that
Yeah.
this Pokemon taught itself to speak.
yeah.
Yeah, there's like
Say your name. Smack. Say your name. Meow. I love gold.
This is a toughie. This is a toughie.
I'm going with James Willems.
Do you want to
'Cause
add
I
a
think
third?
James. I think if we're putting it
Can
into
we?
the context,
Is this the last opportunity to add thirds, or can we still add?
No,
thirds
you can
later
add thirds
on? Okay,
whenever.
I got a third,
Okay,
but I'm
got it.
saving it.
Okay.
I think if we're gonna put this up into like a traditional battle where James from Team Rocket and James Willems from Funhaus, James from work, if we put them into a ring together and they had to physically fight each other, I bet you could beat the fuck out of James.
Well, yeah. I mean, his whole thing is he sends someone else
James,
to do his dirty
no.
work.
Yeah.
Oh, stop hitting me.
Yeah. So
Jesse, James.
I'd beat the shit out of James from Team
Yeah.
Rocket.
Logistically, this one has to go to James Willems.
Did we consider that's what the
Yeah.
other Jesse James was? Just
Yeah.
a pairing.
Oh my gosh. They named Team Rocket after a porn star?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Although
there's-
Team Rocket is a porn production.
Yeah,
company.
yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
A lot of this.
I'm gonna go with James Willems.
Yeah, I
'cause I'm
gotta go
hungry.
Willems on this
Nice.
one. Just logistically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, impartial.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I am also voting for James Willems.
Okay.
All right.
Unanimous.
So
Unanimous. Wow.
now we, that's the first
I
time.
don't
it's
expect to
been
go much
unanimous.
further than this, by the way, because as we mentioned before, James Macleod wears sunglasses.
Sure.
Yep.
Well, now that we've now that we've finished all of the preliminary rounds, let's go hear a word from our sponsors before we come back and finish out this battle of the James. If you're shopping online without Honey, we need to talk. Why are you doing this to your wallet? You're missing out on so many savings. Honey is the free online shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes, and it helps you save money without any extra work on your part. You just install Honey, and when you're shopping, the Honey button drops down and is like, hey, want me to apply some coupon codes? And all you do is click apply coupons. If Honey finds a working coupon, they auto-apply it to your cart. So get Honey and stop hurting your wallet. I got Honey on my computer, and honestly, I forget it's there until I'm about to buy something, and Honey pops down and it's like, hey, dog, you want to save some money on this? And the answer is always yes. I love Honey. If you don't already have it, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free and installs within a few seconds. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast. I'd never recommend something I don't use. So get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/dude. That's joinhoney.com/dude.
New year, new food. It's time to change those habits. And whether you're saving money with less takeout, learning to cook, or getting healthy, HelloFresh can help you with all of that and more. HelloFresh delivers pre-portioned ingredients to your door, including farm-fresh produce that arrives within a week, so you get convenience without skimping on quality. HelloFresh cuts back on time spent in the kitchen so you can spend it on your other resolutions with meals ready in around 30 minutes or less, plus quick and easy meals, including 20-minute recipes and low prep and easy cleanup options, provide an even faster route to putting food on the table. I'm a big fan of HelloFresh. I love those firecracker meatballs, and like when I get a one-pan recipe, it's over for you. It's over for y'all because, oh my God, it's tasty, it's easy, and I actually do feel like a better cook, a better kitchen person. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, go to HelloFresh.com/FHPod16 and use code FHPod16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 gifts. Gifts! 3 gifts? Are you joking my butt? That's up to 16 free meals and 3 gifts at hellofresh.com/FHPod16 and use code FHPod16. Please.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here with special guest James Willems, and we're trying to determine who's the best.
Me.
Yeah!
Jamie's.
If Star Wars wins this, I'm gonna be pissed.
Hey, I don't want to spoil anything for my third that I'm throwing in there.
So we've got James Vader.
Yeah.
That's my favorite flavor of Jacob's Star Wars obsession is the unholy like ball and chain that you're saddled with that ends up winning and like killing people. Like you're a werewolf.
Yeah.
And I have no control over
Yeah,
it.
like please,
I was
no,
like-
don't
I was
strap
gonna
me
vote,
down.
I was going to vote for Lord of the Rings.
Well,
The other
Muppets
day-
took it all
Yeah.
away.
The other day, I forced Jacob to tell me a quote, a one-sentence quote from the movie Solo. And do you know which one he went with?
No, because I wouldn't recognize it.
Yeah.
Like
And
what, Chewbacca?
if you
Quoted
watch
Chewbacca.
Woo Woo, you'll see that joke
Is Chewbacca in that
as
movie?
well.
Yeah. He did the whole movie.
Don't remember.
Remember he has that embarrassing
Mud
scene
creature.
where Han Solo talks to him in Wookiee language?
Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah,
Oh,
I speak a little Wookiee."
in Shri Wook.
The only thing I remember 2 things from that movie is
Why does
one.
that feel insensitive?
There's
Because it is.
There's a scene where he shoots a bunch of glass out, and the girl goes, "I hate the sun," and I'm like, "Is he a vampire?" And then another scene where Woody Harrelson at a campfire goes, "Here's your signature gun. Here's your signature boots. Here's your signature jacket, and I'm gonna call you Han Solo
Don't
from
forget
now
the
on.
belt."
How's that sound?" And he goes, "Okay."
His real name
Just
was
like a little
Hang Solo.
child.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't remember the glass thing at all.
When
for
Han,
some
no,
reason.
it's in the beginning. It's when the fucking caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland is
Yeah.
like, "I run a cartel."
Oh, that thing.
Ooh, oh,
Forgot about the caterpillar.
Yeah.
Han, no last name.
It's like
I'm all alone.
it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
if
the
there was like
caterpillar.
a picture like Avengers, like orchestra overture music, and then as like someone comes in and there's a big set of ugly British teeth and a blue suit and a white ruffled shirt, and it's like, "You are Austin Powers."
Oh, I'd watch that.
I do.
Yeah.
I like
How long
the way
until we
that
get that? Prequel?
I saw a tweet once that was like, "An Austin Powers reboot will be made, and the prophesized star has not yet been born."
Mhm. Yeah.
I liked the way that you described the Han Solo scene because I could just imagine Han Solo wiggling his little feet, like dangling off of a log or something, just like,
Oh,
"I'm
yeah,
a
yeah.
big boy."
I
Yeah.
can
It's at the
picture
fire.
what's his name.
Woody Harrelson.
Handsome boy.
No, the fucking
All-
guy from
yeah.
Hail Caesar.
All
Oh, Little
Clooney.
Caesar.
Aldrin,
Aldrich,
Adolf.
Aaron Reich,
Adolf Levies.
Aaron
Yeah.
Rick,
Aldrich.
Magic Mike.
Moving on
Yeah,
to
I,
the
didn't-
first.
I was ready to drop this conversation
Yeah.
to start.
Moving on to the secondary bracket, we have the winner from the first one, James Bond, going up against the winner from the second one, Jimmy Dean. So we
Jimmy
have
Dean won that.
James Bond versus Jimmy Dean. We've got the sausage man himself versus the
someone
company
Jimmy
that
Dean.
makes sausages.
Nice, we got it there.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
My stomach's still grumbling right
I'm
now.
going Jimmy Dean.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with Jimmy Dean.
Any
Did you
reasoning
eat-
on this?
I'm hungry.
Hungry.
That's
What
it?
do you picture though? When you picture Jimmy Dean, I picture the yellow styrofoam
Yeah.
with the plastic pulled over top,
Yeah.
and then the sausage that's uncooked.
Yeah.
The sight of Jimmy Dean is not appealing to me because it's uncooked sausage.
I
meat.
picture Adolf Levi's.
Well, yeah.
It's the ground sausage that you slice into little medallions of
Mhm.
sausage
Mhm.
that I'm thinking about, which is even more unsightly.
because it's in the thing.
Yeah,
It looks
it's in
like
the-
somebody
Where someone grabs it and then another person just, like,
There's
holds it
nothing
and
worse
spins
than
it.
like just raw pork. Raw ground pork to
Yeah.
me is one of the most disgusting looking things
real
I've
ugly.
ever
It's
seen.
It's like when
Yeah.
someone's gonna whip you with a towel.
Set
Yeah.
off.
Except
We got to
it's
get you out of
meat
that house.
inside.
Jesus, Elise
Right.
is not treating you well. Hide those cigarette burns.
All right, so we've got 2 votes for Jimmy Dean.
Against who? James
I'm
Bond?
gonna
Against
go-
James Bond.
I'm gonna go James Bond.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
You're the
also going to go
tiebreaker?
James Bond.
Wow.
I think he could fuck up some breakfast.
Yeah. and
Well, I'd
who-
have beans.
An
or
English
whatever.
breakfast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tomato
Could have the
on
egg
it.
and
Rick,
yeah,
Where's the
tomato.
mushroom?
We need a tiebreaker. Jimmy Dean versus James Bond.
I'm going James Bond.
Oh!
He said Jimmy Dean, right? Sorry, I'm so hungry that all I can Jimmy Dean about is Postmates.
I hate that fucking commercial because the first one
Which
was really
one?
good.
There's a few.
I
right?
know
handful.
the first one that they did where it was like when all the burgers you could think about, and it's the guy on the train. That was a really good commercial and a really good idea. And then they realized they could just do it for anything,
Well,
and now it
it's
sucks.
not funny until it's have you ever been on like a little dinghy and your best friend in the whole world turns into a hot dog and you turn into a big rotisserie chicken?
That's what happens at Midnight Mass.
Hey, no
I saw that.
spoilers.
Yeah.
No,
Turns into a hot
I'm only
dog.
2 episodes in. I haven't seen that yet.
On this secondary one down here, we have
Midnight Glizzy.
we have Captain James Kirk versus Kevin James.
Ooh, man.
I'm gonna toss out an extra James.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
The vehicle, the GMC Jimmy.
Oh, okay.
What? Describe it to me. Is
It's
that been
kind of
on-
like a Ford Bronco, but not.
Did it come in after the absence of the Ford Bronco? Because the Bronco's back, baby, and the Jimmy's got its days numbered.
No, it's been around for a while, but it's an all around SUV.
Ah.
Before the time of SUVs.
Oh yeah, I've seen
the
this.
GMC Jimmy. It's a nice, reliable car.
Man,
Plenty
cars,
of stuff for all your kayaks or whatever.
Cars were
Cool.
real ugly there for a minute, where they didn't
Yeah.
have that retro feel, but they had just figured out how to round metal.
Oh yeah. In my opinion, one of the ugliest cars ever made that isn't just like something from Europe
Yeah.
is the Mustang in the
Like
in the-
2005.
No, the mid '80s Mustang, where they were like, maybe we can get regular people to buy this car.
Oh God.
So we've got let's see. We've got the GMC Jimmy
Okay.
versus Captain James Kirk, and Kevin James.
Did you find the Mustang?
I think I found it.
This is
Yeah,
probably
it just looks like the ugliest regular car. Yeah, look
Yeah,
at it.
there it is.
It's hideous. It's hideous.
It's awful. A Mustang, that was a women's car.
I went to
It was.
I did not know that.
the 60s for the ladies.
I went to high school with a dude who was like a car nut, and he's like, "Dude, I bought an old Mustang." And I was like,
that happened in
"Cool,
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
cool." And then I arrived, and it was that's like the '89 through '92 or whatever. And I went, "Ugh." He's like, I'm gonna put a hood scoop on it. And I was like,
Oh yeah, cool. I want to see even less. Maybe I'll crash it. And when I was a child, I wanted a Chevy Avalanche.
okay,
Really?
all right."
I wanted a
that
Shelby
dream
Mustang.
going?
I don't think is that the one that's kind of like the Jimmy, right? Like it had like a little bit of.
It had like a plastic bit that came down diagonally from the cabin over the bed. And I didn't realize that it's an enormous vehicle.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely gigantic.
Yeah.
Now I have a Corolla. I hate it.
All right. There you go.
Yeah,
James.
I
dude,
don't
it's
ever,
true.
I don't
Covered-
ever want to
yeah.
own a car again.
Covered in sap.
Covered in tree sap. Absolutely
Yeah.
filthy with
Yeah,
sap.
the earth just came all over her fucking vehicle.
Yeah.
So we've got Captain Kirk versus Kevin James versus the GMC Jimmy.
Mhm.
gump.
I think if we're doing this like fight style again, if that's how we're doing it,
What does that mean? Oh, like who would win in a fight?
yeah,
Oh,
I think this car is gonna kill
I mean,
both
it
of
for
them.
sure would.
Yeah.
So
So I'm going GMC Jimmy.
wow. Okay.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go because also thinking fight style. I think Kevin James could take an entire gym.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You seen him
Because-
bounce around in those movies?
You think
Yeah.
Kevin James is fat enough to stop a car?
no,
probably-
I think he's resilient.
Blart?
enough.
No, because
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you if you
Okay.
say that.
Well,
yeah. Then yeah.
if we're going
Yeah.
off fighting style, I'm thinking James Kirk.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got James Kirk,
One and
GMC
one and
Jimmy, Kevin
It's
James.
1 and 1 and 1 and 1.
Yeah.
I think his lips like airbags.
So it's on me.
It's on you.
I mean, I did suggest the GMC Jimmy.
But I'll say I suggested all of these, and I have
That's true.
to also.
Yeah. You have to vote
Yeah.
against something.
But you're gonna have to pit if that.
I'm just so here's my issue. I am picturing Kevin James getting hit by a GMC Jimmy, and I don't think it ends him. I think it's more likely to bring it to crush in the front end of the
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Kevin James.
Yeah, okay.
Whoa.
Kevin James Bond is going to be a fun one.
Yeah. There's only one true answer to that.
I'm
one.
really excited to get to that in another hour.
Like he just gets off the ground a little
Yeah.
bit. Boom.
It-
he gets sent flying and the car is destroyed.
He
He
probably
gets up and he
farts.
goes,
Yeah.
Wow, I could use a beer from with my father-in-law.
He goes, I feel like I just
Jerry
get hit by
Stiller.
a truck. And
Yeah.
they go, you did. And he goes,
And then they stretch that out to an hour and a half and give him $4 million for it.
yeah. That's before the Russian terrorists.
Hell yeah.
Is Remini there? Is
Oh, of course. She supports him
She's
in
driving the
everything he
car.
does.
She's
Yeah.
driving.
No.
We also have to give David Spade a cameo so he could just show
Oh,
up.
great.
Really
Yeah.
quick.
So
He'll
he
be
can
there.
get another $4
Are we
million
talking about
too.
Adam Sandler pictures, or are we talking about the King of Goddamn Queens?
What's the difference?
A lot.
Everybody
Um,
loves
totally.
Kevin.
So we have got up here
James
in
Spader.
a surprise. Yeah,
I'm ready to
upset.
vote.
We have got James Spader versus LeBron James.
I'm voting James Spader.
LeBron
Yeah?
James.
Yeah.
You're voting James Spader?
Yeah.
James Spader, all his pictures
James
made me
Spader.
giggle.
These pictures are funny. I'm going James Spader.
Isn't he a flatliner too?
I'm going LeBron James. But it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
We've
matter.
got James
Goddamn
Spader.
right. It
Oh,
doesn't matter.
LeBron James, meaning what were they calling him? LeChoke or something
Wow.
like that. LeBum, yeah.
LeBum.
LeJoker. I will become LeJoker. LeJoker.
Well, that one was easy and required almost no conversation
No.
about it at all.
way.
James Spader just took that one.
This one's gonna be hard
mean,
though.
And then now down here we've got James Macleod versus James Willems.
Great father,
God.
but dead.
Two power dads.
Versus a fox
Terrible
that wears
father.
Sunglasses. Oh.
Yeah. What are you doing?
What is wrong with you? Jump Spader.
Did you just typo that?
No, I did it on purpose.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Make Jacob laugh.
It's so easy.
So I wrote out
It should be Jump Spooter.
jump spoot it.
I feel like, I mean, we kind of talked through James
I'm gonna
McLeod.
take your phone away.
Jump Spider.
Jump Spioiter.
Okay, James McLeod, James Willems.
Ooh.
I don't know. I
Do
think
we have
James
sunglasses?
McLeod doesn't do all that much. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do?
More than James McLeod. Yeah.
If you had a son, how much hair would he be covered in?
Yeah.
It's a great question. Probably not much. To be honest.
Well, no, but you have to remember that it'll also have half Elise genes, and she is fucking hairy as hell.
She is, but most of it, I'm gonna out her a little bit,
Uh-huh.
is plastic surgery. She got hair addition surgery.
Does she speak Shri Wook?
She was born almost entirely without body hair, and then chose to have surgery to get body hair.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
It's
she had
fucked up.
hair
The
grafts.
things that
So
people do to fit in Canada.
it's like well, I was gonna say it's like the people that rich businessmen that marry Chinese women and then their kids turn out ugly and they're like, you had plastic surgery before you met me, didn't you? It's like that.
I just heard about that story.
So
There you
your
go.
your kid will be.
So I'm just saying it'd be not a very hairy child. Wouldn't
Jacob?
resemble a fox at all.
We're
Yeah.
reaching the end. Do you want to throw in a bonus, James?
I think it's time for a bonus, James.
Yeah.
I think it's time for James Gandolfini.
Whoa!
For his
Sopranos,
Amazing
Sopranos.
performance
so it's
in Where the
me.
Wild Things
It's
Are.
James
James
McLeod.
versus two dead James.
Yeah,
Dead
yeah.
Jameses.
It's James McLeod, James Willems, and James Gandolfini.
And I'm sorry to say, after throwing James Gandolfini in, there's only one living James, and I have to vote for him.
Wow, you don't have
Whoa.
to, but
Yeah, you
Yeah.
didn't have to do
It,
that.
hey, it's
it
the
is
right
a great
thing to do.
suggestion.
Well, I'll tell you what. I woke up this morning, got myself a gun.
That's
Mom always said I would
And
be
then
the
skip the intro.
chosen one.
Yeah, I would skip the intro too.
Yeah,
And
that's
then I
bad.
drove all the way to Jersey.
I always thought that Patrick would beat the shit out of me if he found out.
The idea that you're watching Sopranos at a time when you can skip the intro is shocking to me. I
Oh.
own that CD soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah, that's how much we loved our
And it's
intros
just
back
that
then.
song, right?
I think like with the amount
There
of
were other songs, but I didn't
Yeah.
listen to it. There's like a Frank Sinatra thing on it.
I think with the amount of episodes there are and the number of intros I've skipped since I watched it like the one time at the very beginning, I must have saved myself 3 hours. or
Oh,
something like
absolutely,
that.
more
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
No way.
I think if we're going fighting, I think James Williams is gonna beat the fuck out of both of these guys.
If I'm
Out of
watching
Gandolfini?
intros,
out of Gandolfini
Now?
yeah.
James
no,
James got them.
I think you could beat the shit out of James Gandolfini in
Yeah.
his prime.
Look,
Really?
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, I'm watching the whole intro to Deadwood.
Mhm.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me with Narcos.
Yeah, I think James
Yeah.
has the makings of a varsity athlete.
I wasn't
Daredevil had a
watching
good
that.
theme
Mhm.
too.
You talking about James Gandolfini?
No, I'm talking about James.
I
He's
was
Are
the
you talking about
varsity-
James McLeod?
But
No,
I-
James Willems.
What'd you
Are you
do?
talking
in
about-
high-
I was a varsity.
What'd you do in
athlete.
You're
high
talking about
school?
Kevin James?
What did I
James
do in high
Corden?
school?
Yeah.
Are you talking about James Kirk?
What didn't I
sports?
do?
What extracurriculars? Theater.
I wrestled. I was a
Wrestle
I was
theater?
a Letterman,
Why did you say it
captain of the
weird?
wrestling team.
I
You
wrestled.
were captain
Because
of the wrestling team?
no one respects it.
Because
Yeah.
Tony Soprano, he had, nightmares about inadequacies in life stemming from, childhood and being on the football team.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
You know,
pass out whenever you're
emasculated by-
holding gabagool in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
because
You
of
say
trauma.
no one respects
Well,
wrestling?
Generally, when
you're
you
such a
mention
fitness
it, I
nut.
mean,
You call it gaba fuel.
yeah,
Gaba fuel.
everything is just gaba fuel.
I've never seen a word so eager to burst forth from a person's face than when Charlotte was saying that. You were turning red before it even came out.
Yeah, I can't wait for this.
Gabba fuel.
And that's why I'll be voting for James Gandolfini. Sorry,
Wow.
James. It's nothing
We've
personal.
We've got one James Willems, one James Gandolfini. I'm gonna go James Willems too. I think you could beat the fuck out of Gandolfini.
That's
I think
not
all
what-
you'd have to do is plug his fat little nose, and then he couldn't breathe loudly anymore.
I love that sound. It's like white noise for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turn on my James Gandolfini
Yeah.
before I go to sleep.
It's like
just for
listening
the
to the
noise.
ocean.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then for that, I'll give James Macleod a vote. For the segment, and then I'll take.
All right.
take the W.
The F-Zero one, not the Star Fox one.
James Willems takes that one. So we've got 3 more matchups coming in. Finally, we've got James Bond versus Kevin James. I'm gonna throw in my own James. Jimmy Caps,
Who?
What?
condoms.
Oh, and I'm throwing
Colloquially
in
known as-
James Carvel.
No, you are
a four
wrong.
guy. A four.
Fatal 4-way.
What does Rick say?
Wait, who are they again?
James
So it's-
Bond, Kevin James, and the
Condoms?
concept of condoms.
Yeah.
called Jimmy Caps.
And I said James Carvel.
But she's already thrown in a
You know-
bonus James. You know what? Fuck it. We'll do it too. 4-way. James Carvel.
But Carvel is also a kind of ice cream, and sprinkles are sometimes known as Jimmy's.
Jimmy's.
Okay,
yeah.
5-way. We've got James Bond versus Kevin James versus James Carmel versus condoms versus sprinkles.
You know what? I'm gonna make this a 6-way. Let's throw in James Jordan, the father of Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we've got
Okay.
James Bond, we've got Kevin James, we've got James Carvel, we've got condoms, we've got sprinkles, and we've got James Jordan.
I'd like to see LeBron James try to doom his father to a horrible end with his gambling debts, huh?
Allegedly.
And it
Allegedly,
wasn't
yeah.
a flu game.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was poisoned pizza.
All right, if I'm looking at this right, I think a condom destroys James Bond, so they cancel out. I think sprinkles give Kevin James Jimmy's, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Jimmy's give Kevin James like high blood sugar. That cancels out. The only one left over is James Jordan.
So wins
If
by
you're using
default.
if you're using math, I say James Jordan.
I can't argue with math.
Yeah, it is
Also, if you want to say James Jordan wins, condoms, if you put that with James Jordan, then he has no Michael Jordan, then he's fucking nobody.
That's true.
hmm
He's
Well,
just a guy.
No, the Jordan line is strong.
Well, actually,
And
now that
they
I've
can
said that-
penetrate a condom.
What about James Joyce?
Oh, a 7-way.
Okay, we've got James Bond versus Kevin James versus James Carvel. We've got the concept of condoms. We've got Jimmy's sprinkles. We've got James Jordan, and then we've got what was it again?
James Joyce.
James Joyce.
Can we bring does the GMC Jimmy come back out on top? I don't know.
No,
I feel like-
that's
GMC
already
Jimmy's
out.
dead.
I feel like Kevin James survives
smashed it.
all.
Yeah, Kevin James can survive a fight with James Bond, probably.
Hmm.
You think, right?
I'm voting for condoms.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the first time you've ever done that.
Yeah, that's the first time anyone from my people has done that.
Okay, all right. I didn't make it. About
Oh.
I made it personal.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez. He always has to go there.
He always
you
has
know?
to
He has
go
to go
there.
there. We're just
Yeah.
trying to make fun of him.
My people,
Yeah?
big fans of James Joyce.
yeah.
What is that?
It's the Irish.
Okay.
Our homeboy, my guy.
I'm gonna go Kevin James. Out of all this, I'm going Kevin James. I imagine a scenario where they all are trying to fight each other, and then he gets hit in the face, and he's like, "Ow, my nose!" But then that causes him to like knock into someone else. and
sneezes, yeah.
Something happens.
Well, he
and then
farts and
stumbles
sneezes.
around,
He
farts
does
and
do a
sneezes,
fart sneeze.
and fumbles his way into.
He
Well,
victory.
he sneezes in the scene when he acts it, but they add the farts in later.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
Well,
yeah.
because he's making faces that are just begging a fart.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's farting, but it's not mic'd to pick up.
Yeah.
You're going to want to do some sound design on that fart
Yeah.
anyway. So
If
he
it
as an actor is farting, but it's not the fart that they're going to use
Yeah.
in the final
Method.
finish film.
Method.
What's
Yeah.
crazy is he does his own farts.
Well, yeah.
They bring him in the studio
He's
later
pro.
just to get the
Tom
fart
Cruise
noises.
could never. Do you think Tom Cruise probably like a windy, soundless fart?
He probably
Yeah.
doesn't. He's just a flat.
Tom
butt
Cruise
with a
probably
hole.
fart like
Well, he farts only once every 2 or 3 years, and
Yeah.
it's during that extreme stunt that he does.
Yeah,
for the Mission
yeah.
Impossible.
Right,
That's
right.
why they keep having to get bigger
that's
and bigger.
why he jumped out of an airplane. It's
But-
because no one could hear it.
Right before that moment, he's bottling them all up, which is why he looks like Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just like,
All right. Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
just punched my hand.
Yeah.
and I'll do it again.
No.
Yeah. If you were Kevin James, you can handle that.
All right,
Yeah,
Kevin
fine.
James
Give it
comes
to
out on
Kevin
top.
James.
Yeah,
I
and-
vote for Kevin James. Jesus. We got Kevin James out of duress. Kevin James?
Kevin James.
Kevin James?
Of course.
Okay. All right. Well, the winner of that 6-way battle is fucking Kevin James.
Of course.
Taking all comers.
Oh my god!
Careful, Charlotte.
Jesus. She's fucking taking everyone. And our final semifinal battle is James Spader versus James Willems.
Wow.
It's come down to this.
I mean, just imagine that UFC
Yeah.
face to
It's like
face, the
drag-
weigh-ins
Yeah.
already.
It's
just
like
in-
Dragon Ball. It just
Yeah.
like lights up the sky.
it's him talking trash in my face and me telling him how much I admire his work.
Are we still doing fighting rules, like fist fight rules?
James
No, I don't think that should be the only
Come to die.
qualification.
Come to James.
He's a really good spanker. I know
Yeah.
that.
Are you a good
Um,
spanker though?
Could you spank?
I don't know
Spank
that
my
I
hand.
am.
Actually, I think the question is because you wouldn't be spanking like third party. I think he'd be spanking your butt. And the
Yeah.
question is, how long can you withstand a Spader spank?
Yeah.
I have a lot of meat on my
All right, now, are you
bottom.
tensed up or are you loose?
I would
He's got a hard
probably
butt.
I would stay loose and then tense before impact and then release.
Oh.
That's tense release.
Right.
That's not how
Tense
you're
release.
supposed to do it. You're supposed to keep your butt loose before a spank. That's
I
why
wouldn't be
drunk
able-
drivers always get spanked and they live.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm gonna go Spader on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going James Willems.
So it's 20 seasons of Blacklist. I don't have that.
Yeah. But you have like what, 10 years of Funhouse?
Yeah, close
when
to.
did Funhouse start? 98?
It was
Yeah.
like 98.
89?
Yeah, it's right after the towers fell.
Yeah, you were in
We
a
said we
you were
need
in a
this world
garage.
needs change.
After the towers fell in
different
98?
towers.
Different towers.
After those Jenga towers fell.
Yeah.
hmm
Towers are always fun. One
Yeah.
fell this summer in
Why
Florida.
should
and
we even
stopped
fucking
talking
build
about
them
it.
anymore?
We shouldn't, honestly.
Yeah.
Skyscrapers are just honestly a terrible idea.
We should
Most
do like
people
4
agree.
or 5 stories, like mixed use zoning.
I have an experiment for myself.
Damn mouth.
Charlotte, can you-
Filthy whore mouth.
We need single story, one family home.
Yeah.
As far as
I
the
need
eye
a
can
yard.
see. I need it to be 8 miles to get to Walmart.
I want to have to walk to my
Minimum.
garage.
And I mean the movie 8 Mile. I need to be able to watch all
8
of
mile,
them.
yeah, and no sidewalks.
yeah.
Charlotte, show me a picture of James Spader real quick. I gotta check
Oh my
something.
God.
Wait, James Spader or Jum Spoider?
Jump Sporter. Just what's in the images?
Or John Boy Spider.
Quite a looker.
Can you show the camera?
I am showing the camera.
I'm going to vote for who is in that picture.
Gotcha, bitch.
It's
That's
so
James
Can
Willems.
you hold that up
James.
to the camera again? Look how obvious well, it's not going to focus on that, but you can see how obviously photos are lies.
Yeah.
Look at me just here candidly in this camera, and then look at me in a photo shoot where I've been touched up.
Yeah, you look great in there.
I look great there.
You look awful here.
I look terrible.
just fucking.
This is the
god-awful.
reality of most situations. Have you ever seen Scarlett Johansson in person?
Yeah.
Well, she's stunning, but still, imagine someone else.
See, this is actually proving my point though, because you look so fucked in real life that it's like clear that you've been hit before and you
I
you
have
get
been.
back
On
up
the
again.
ass.
Yeah.
by the
I was in
Blacklist
fight
thing?
clubs
Yeah.
in college. I
Yeah.
mean, I did things in college.
That's worse. The less specific you are when you say I did things in college, the worse it
Well,
is.
because you're not supposed to mention.
I heard that
Yeah.
he kept women in his basement in college.
Well, it was a different time.
It was the
It
80s.
was in
How old are you?
1980s.
More older than you think.
Yeah.
43.
Well, I'm going to vote for
Jesus.
who I was tricked into voting for James Willems. I'm going to have to stick
I'm
by
also
my
voting
vote.
for
Yeah.
James Willems.
You don't have to vote for James.
I don't
Willems.
have to. I want to
and
because
I
I
am
need you
honestly
to-
a little concerned about bowing out in terms of my reputation,
Yeah.
bowing out at this point to James Spader is better than going on to lose to
But
Kevin
beating
James.
James Spader is better than that. Look, I don't need to vote
This
for you.
is
I want to vote for you because
East, West.
I think
but sometimes there's better teams
that
on
it
the
will
East.
gain your approval.
West is a powerhouse.
And I'm always looking for that.
Well, I want you to vote for James Spader.
Fuck. All right, I'm voting for James Spader.
That's 2 and 2 then, yeah?
So then it's on
Rick.
Rick.
I didn't vote yet.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, did I?
Yeah, you voted for James Willems.
James Willems.
Rick.
All right, so that's 2 and 2.
And remember, James Carville is still out there.
And remember if
Remember, I sign your checks. I don't even know. How do
remember-
you guys get paid?
you bump into him in the hallway and you go, fan, huh?
Yeah, you want a photo? Here, I'll take it. I have long arms.
You reach down the hallway
Yeah.
and grab his checks.
remember if you don't vote the way that me and James did, he won't love me like a son.
Oh, well, that's incentive for
And
him
I
to
need
say
this.
Who's
Spader.
the son?
All right, you're not getting that, so I'm voting for James Spader.
No!
Yeah!
Wait,
What?
yeah! That's what I wanted.
Oh, wait,
Is
that's
James
what he
Willems,
wanted.
is
Yeah.
James Willems out?
We got
James
tricked. I
Williams is
lost to Spader. That's okay.
James Willems is out. That's
Oh
what
my
we
God.
I
wanted.
thought the whole point of this podcast was to get him all the way.
Finally.
I thought this was a sham.
yeah,
finally
it
something to
was.
stroke
But now
my
it's
ego.
become legitimate.
Well, that's a damn crying James.
All right. So we have got the final.
Cold.
Because all the blood is in my heart.
I have no heart. It pumps
Ah,
nothing.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Is it? Let me
Yeah.
see. Yeah, what's going on?
It's-
And also, you've been really active
Yeah.
too, and you're wearing like 3 shirts.
Okay.
Let's go.
We have got the final showdown. We've got Kevin James versus James Spader.
Huge.
And I actually just got a text here from Omar. We're throwing in a surprise last minute James Willow.
No, that's not fair. I can't. If the
Oh.
GMC Jimmy can't come back, neither can I.
GMC Jimmy can come back.
James
you know
Willems
what?
driving a GMC.
Yeah.
Let's just look at all these
Fucking
other names and
everyone.
everything.
Yeah,
Who
free for
cares?
all. The final James
No,
battle.
no, I can't stand for that.
no.
And you're sitting for it. Yeah, stand
I would
up.
kneel if the table allowed it. We
Yeah.
need pews.
There's
on
no
this
blood in your
set.
legs.
We've got James Spader versus Kevin James versus James
Versus.
Willems
James,
in a GMC Jimmy.
So,
I think it's time for a little tip of the pyramid here.
Yeah.
I think James Earl Jones.
Oh.
I'm sorry, but I tried to fudge it so you won. I'm going James Earl Jones. Are you kidding me?
That's a great.
the
that's a
owner of
great
the
line.
evil dog in
Yeah,
Sandlot?
that's the guy.
Fences own James Earl Jones.
I don't know what that is.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
I don't
was
know
he-
what
was in
that. I don't know what
Fences?
fences
Was he
is.
anything else?
No, he was in the Sandlot.
He was
Yeah,
in
that's all I
Sandlot and
got.
Fences.
Yeah,
I
I,
think
don't know
he-
what fences
Oh,
is. So
no,
I
he
don't.
was in The Lion King.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's Mufasa.
No, he's in the Sandlot.
Have you seen Scar, Joe, in person?
Scarjo?
Stunning. Just stunning.
Star-
And I'm talking about waking up, not an ounce of makeup on her face.
No,
Just
and
a
she's a
beautiful
lion.
human being.
Long
Just
live the
stunning.
king.
Just stunning.
Yeah.
She fell off a cliff.
She was in Jungle
She
Book.
fell-
Admiration for my rivals. I'm going to vote James Spader. I think James Earl Jones is a
Wow.
great last, but I'm still going Spader. Think about all he's given us.
hmm
Yeah, that's true.
Think about all that James Earl Jones has given us. The Sandlot.
That's
Fences.
it? Fences?
I don't know what that is.
I have something
Question?
I want to. No,
Yeah,
it's not a
go ahead.
question so much as an entry,
Okay.
if you'll allow it.
Yeah, sure.
No, we have a lot of nicknames on here. Jimmy
Mhm.
Dean, Slim Jim, Jim Halpert, and it seems like a pretty flexible amount. So I think I'd like to offer up another gym, the gymnasium.
Whoa.
A place where people exercise.
Gym.
Yeah. That's your best friend.
It is.
Yeah.
I spend the most time around that.
It could be a
person.
setting
Yeah.
More
for
than anything
all
else.
these James
Yeah.
to coalesce and sort of duke it out.
Yeah.
At lunchtime, you go to the James Nasium.
Hmm. Interesting.
Oh, fuck. I'm still going for James Earl Jones.
How much do you think James Earl Jones can bench?
Not very much.
Now or ever? Because probably
Now.
not a lot.
Yeah.
For both.
No, he only.
How much do you think his vocal cords could bench?
A lot.
Yeah.
They're taut.
Yeah.
They're taut. Wait, no, they're loose.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm going James Spader.
James Spader, 2 Spaders, 1 James Earl Jones. Come on.
Yeah, I can't think of anything James Earl Jones is in, so I'm gonna go Spader.
What? Okay. Well,
You can vote
James.
for Kevin James though.
What happened to Kevin James? He's still in this.
He's still
Rick,
there.
Kevin James versus James Spader.
Rick's vote counts for 3, though.
Rick, your vote counts for 3. We've got 3 votes.
He's gonna say Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Murderer. Jimmy Superfly
Pauly
well,
Snuka.
it was
D.
a different time.
It was a different time.
It's a different
you're right.
time. Yeah, doing different time.
We'll do James Spader.
James!
Landslide.
Well,
Blacklist,
everyone-
Blacklist.
And other films, and other films.
Stargate and Blacklist and
I think Flatliners, right?
Flatliners,
Wasn't he in
maybe?
Flatliners?
Was
the
he
original
in-
one
was
or
he in
the
The
Elliot
Sandlot?
Page vehicle?
The secretary. I don't think
He was in-
he's the voice of
he's
James
Star
Spader.
Wars.
Wars.
Voice of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darth
yeah.
Spader.
Yeah.
Spader.
James Spader, 100%. I love
James-
that
Hell
guy.
yeah.
Darth Vader beak. Nice. I'm losing the thread.
Well, that is it. That is it for the year. This is the last Funhouse podcast, and we
Yeah.
wanted to figure out who the best James is. And believe it or not, it's James Spader.
This is really smart of you to do this, so that way it's not like the podcast goes out on top.
Yeah.
You know?
Whoa, why would you be mean to me?
That way you come in 2022 and it's like, whoa,
You're
this
really
podcast's
mean.
great.
I regret doing this for you.
I didn't
Only one
win.
way to go.
I got a
told
lot
me
of
not
farts.
to.
I lost to
You
Spader
told
of
me
all
to
people.
fucking make you
James
lose.
Spader, he better come on the show and
Here you
we'd
go.
sort this
Do
out.
you do a James Spader?
Does
Can you?
anyone just like
I
make
can't
your lips
remember what he
weird and
sounds
say, ugh?
Well, James, do you have a concession speech you want to make?
I just want to say season 43 of the Blacklist is starting, and I couldn't be more excited to have Paramount Plus to watch it on. I don't know.
He's Ultron.
Oh yeah, there are no strings on James Spader. There are no strings
He's
on me.
Ultron. Guys,
The best Marvel film.
he's Ultron.
All right. Jacob, you wanted to say anything? End of the year?
I can't wait to read all those comments saying it's Ultron.
It's Ultron.
It's Ultron. He's Ultron.
He's Ultron. That's all I gotta
Charlotte?
say.
A shout out to Boston Legal,
Mhm.
which he was in, and so was James Kirk.
Well, I want to say shouts out to the Beatles. Paul is dead. I'm Armando Torres. This is James Willems. That's Jacob Fullerton. This is Charlotte McGrath. Rick has been on the 1s and 2s in the fucking control room. We
Omar
love you,
texted
buddy.
you?
Omar texted me. And I love all of you. We'll see you next year. Bye,
Happy New
everybody.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Have a great New Year.
I hope you have a wonderful New Year.
Paul is dead.
like the Star Fox character. That's what we should name the album.
I've got this crazy idea for 64 Nintendos. Groovy.
the Ultra 64.
I'm going to be. My wife is Yoko.
That got Joe Biden at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
All right.